Ever felt like the world sees something in you that you don't quite understand yet? What if they know you're the chosen one before you do? Chosen ones, let's dive deep into the 5 undeniable signs that they can't ignore, signs that prove you're not just different, you're chosen. Stick around because by the end of this video, you'll see why they've been acting the way they do. Before we jump in, like and comment 77 to manifest your chosen one's energy in your life right now. The first sign is commanding presence. Your energy speaks louder than words. It's not something you've cultivated. It's inherent, like a fire that burns within you, radiating beyond the boundaries of your physical presence. Have you ever walked into a room and felt the air shift? Conversations pause, eyes turn, and suddenly, without uttering a word, you've become the focal point. It's not because of what you're wearing or how loudly you speak. It's the unmistakable aura of a chosen one, a magnetic energy that demands recognition. This isn't arrogance. It's not about pride or vanity. It's about an inner light that others can't help but notice, even if they don't fully understand it. That's the paradox of a commanding presence. It's both seen and felt. People are drawn to it, often without knowing why, but they can't deny its impact. You might not even be aware of it yourself, but the reactions of others serve as a constant reminder. Think about those moments. Walking into a meeting and sensing the atmosphere shift, attending a gathering where people naturally gravitate toward you, or even standing in a line and noticing how others seem unusually aware of your presence. It's not about being the loudest voice in the room. It's about carrying a quiet, unshakable confidence that others can't ignore. This presence isn't without its challenges. For some, it sparks admiration. For others, envy. People might project their insecurities onto you, mistaking your light for a threat rather than inspiration. You've probably experienced this. Someone who barely knows you acting dismissive or overly critical, as if trying to diminish the power they sense in you. It's uncomfortable, but it's also a confirmation of your significance. Biblically, we see this dynamic in the story of David. Even as a young shepherd, David carried a presence that set him apart. In 1 Samuel 16 verses 12 to 13, when Samuel anointed David, the Spirit of the Lord came upon him, marking him as chosen. From that moment, his presence became undeniable. Whether standing before Goliath or serving in Saul's court, David's commanding presence was a testament to the divine calling on his life. Like David, your presence isn't just about you. It's about what you represent. It's a beacon, a signal that God has set you apart for something greater. In daily life, this can feel overwhelming. You might wonder, why me? Why do people seem to notice me even when I'm trying to blend in? But this isn't something to shy away from. It's something to embrace. Your presence has a purpose. It's a tool, a gift designed to open doors, influence others, and pave the way for your unique mission. Yet, with great presence comes great responsibility. Your light isn't just for you. It's for others. Matthew 5 verse 16 reminds us, "Let your light so shine before men, that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven." Your presence isn't about personal glory. It's about reflecting God's glory. When you walk into a room and shift the atmosphere, it's an opportunity to bring peace, inspiration, or encouragement to those around you. It's a reminder that your life is part of a larger story, one that points back to the Creator. It's important to recognize the difference between a commanding presence and a controlling presence. The latter seeks to dominate, while the former invites. Your presence isn't about forcing others to see you. It's about creating space for them to see themselves more clearly. People are drawn to your authenticity, your confidence, and your light because it awakens something within them. It's as if, in your presence, they're reminded of their own potential, their own calling. This, however, can also make you a target. Not everyone will respond positively to your presence. Some will feel challenged or even threatened by it. In John 15 verses 18 to 19, Jesus said, "If the world hate you, ye know that it hated me before it hated you. This isn't to discourage you but to prepare you. Your presence will provoke strong reactions because it carries the weight of your calling. But don't let that deter you. Instead, see it as a confirmation that you're on the right path. On a deeper level, Your commanding presence is a reflection of your alignment with God's purpose. It's not about striving or trying to prove yourself. It's about walking in the identity God has already given you. When you embrace who you are in Him, your presence naturally becomes more powerful, more magnetic. It's not something you have to manufacture. It flows from within, rooted in the assurance that you are fearfully and wonderfully made. Psalm 139 verse 14. So, how do you steward this presence? First, by staying grounded in humility. A commanding presence isn't about elevating yourself. It's about serving others. It's about using your influence to uplift, inspire, and guide. Second, by staying connected to God. Your presence is a reflection of His light within you. The more you align with Him, the brighter your light shines. As you reflect on this first sign, take a moment to consider how your presence has impacted others. Think about the moments when you've shifted the atmosphere, even without trying. Recognize that this isn't a coincidence. It's a calling. Comment, command if this resonates with you, if you felt the weight and wonder of your presence shaping the world around you. And this is just the beginning. The next sign will take us even deeper into what it means to be chosen. It's not just about the energy you carry, it's about the influence you wield. The second sign is profound influence. Have you ever paused to wonder why your words seem to linger in people's minds long after the conversation has ended? Why a simple remark or passing thought you shared sparks something deep within someone else? This isn't coincidence. It's the mark of a chosen one. Your words, even though spoken without much thought, have a way of cutting through distractions and touching the core of a person's being. They awaken something hidden, calling people to face truths they may have long buried. This influence isn't about eloquence or charisma. It's something far deeper. It's as though your words carry a weight that others feel, even when they don't fully understand why. People may come to you for advice, often about things they struggle to share with anyone else. Sometimes they're not even looking for advice, they just want to be near your presence, knowing that somehow your perspective will provide clarity. And the most profound part? You're often unaware of the impact you're making in the moment. It's only later, through someone's gratitude or testimony, that you realize how deeply your words touched them. Think about those moments when someone said, "What you said changed everything for me," or "I hadn't thought about it like that before." You might have shrugged it off at the time, but to them it was transformative. Proverbs 27 verse 17 encapsulates this perfectly. Iron sharpeneth iron, so a man sharpeneth the countenance of his friend. Your influence isn't just a passive effect. It's an active force that shapes and refines the people around you. But with this influence comes a unique set of challenges. Not everyone is ready to confront the truths you illuminate. Your insights can feel uncomfortable, even threatening, to those who have grown accustomed to ignoring certain parts of their lives. You may have encountered resistance, perhaps even hostility, from people who seem to recoil at your words. This can be confusing, especially when your intention was simply to help. But remember, light can be blinding to those who have lived too long in darkness. Your influence, while profound, isn't always easy for others to receive. Consider the example of Jesus and the Samaritan woman at the well in John 4. At first, the woman was resistant to Jesus' words. His insights into her life exposed truths she had been avoiding. Yet, as the conversation unfolded, she was transformed. She went from deflecting his questions to becoming one of the first people to proclaim him as the Messiah. This is the essence of profound influence. It challenges, it disrupts, but ultimately, it leads to transformation. Like Jesus, your influence is a gift that calls people higher, even if the journey isn't always smooth. In your own life, this influence might manifest in surprising ways. A coworker who suddenly starts rethinking their career path after a casual chat with you. A friend who feels convicted to make a major life change after hearing your perspective. Even strangers might find themselves drawn to your authenticity, inspired to pursue their own truths. This isn't just about the content of your words. It's about the spirit behind them. Your influence doesn't come from persuasion or pressure. It comes from your alignment with your purpose, with the divine. This alignment is what makes your influence so powerful. It's not something you manufacture or force. It flows naturally because it's rooted in truth. When you speak from a place of authenticity and spiritual grounding, your words carry the authority of that truth. Isaiah 55 verse 11 reminds us, "So shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the thing whereto I sent it." This verse is often applied to God's word, but as someone chosen, your words are an extension of His purpose. They are meant to accomplish something, to bring about change. However, this profound influence isn't just for others. It's for you too. Through these interactions, you're also being refined. God uses the weight of your influence to teach you patience, humility, and discernment. There will be moments when you feel the burden of this responsibility, moments when you question whether you're saying or doing the right thing. But these are opportunities for growth. They remind you to rely not on your own understanding, but on God's guidance. Proverbs 3 verses 5 to 6 encourages us, "Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge Him, and He shall direct thy paths." Your influence is also a reflection of the larger cosmic purpose you're part of. It's like being a vessel, a channel through which something greater flows. Think of it as a ripple effect. When you speak, you may only see the immediate impact, but the ripples of your words extend far beyond what you can perceive. A single conversation might inspire someone to take an action that changes the course of their life, and perhaps even the lives of others. This is the beauty of profound influence. It's exponential, yet it's also deeply personal. Every word you speak is an invitation, a chance to connect with someone on a soul level. In a world filled with noise, your voice stands out because it carries meaning. It resonates. It reminds people of their own worth, their own potential. This is why people often feel an unexplainable connection to you. They see in you a mirror of who they could become. As you reflect on the second sign, take a moment to consider the lives you've already touched. Think about the people who've thanked you for your words, the changes you've witnessed in others because of your influence. Recognize that this isn't random. It's intentional. You were designed to have this impact, to call others higher, to sharpen those around you. And we're just getting started. The next signs? They're the kind that send shivers down their spines. Trust me, you'll want to know. Before we dive in, activate all notifications so you don't miss any future revelations. Let's keep going. The third sign is magnetic aura. It's not something you ask for, nor is it something you can turn off. It's simply there, unmistakable, undeniable, and deeply rooted in the essence of who you are. You don't chase people. They gravitate toward you. They might not even realize why, but something about your presence feels different. It's as though you carry an energy that resonates on a frequency they've been searching for. It's not about being the loudest or most charismatic person in the room. It's about authenticity, the kind of authenticity that's rare, compelling, and transformative. Have you noticed how people seem to open up to you, even strangers? How they share their struggles, their dreams, their fears? It's as if they sense safety in your presence, a sanctuary where they can be themselves without judgment. That's the power of a magnetic aura. It draws people not to the surface of who you are but to the depth within you. And the beauty of this magnetism is that it's not forced. It flows naturally, effortlessly, like a light shining in the darkness. Jesus perfectly captured this idea in Matthew 5 verse 14. "Ye are the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hid." Your magnetic aura isn't about making yourself seen. It's about being who you are, and in doing so, becoming impossible to ignore. People are drawn to the light you carry, to the authenticity that emanates from your soul. It's not about popularity or trying to fit in. It's about standing out not because you want to, but because you can't help it. This magnetic aura can be both a blessing and a challenge. On one hand, it opens doors to meaningful connections, opportunities, and moments of influence. On the other hand, it can make you a target for misunderstanding, envy, or even exploitation. People might mistake your magnetism for something they can use or control, not realizing that it's not something external. It's deeply tied to your spiritual and emotional core. Consider the story of Joseph in Genesis. Joseph didn't ask to be favored. Yet his dreams and the aura of purpose around him made him stand out. His brothers envied him for it, eventually selling him into slavery. Yet even in Egypt, his magnetic aura continued to draw people toward him, from Potiphar to the prison guards, and ultimately Pharaoh himself. Joseph's story is a reminder that a magnetic aura isn't about circumstances. It's about the unshakable light within. Even in the darkest places, your aura can shine, drawing the right people and opportunities to you. In your daily life, this might look like being the person others instinctively turn to for advice or comfort. You might find that people linger in your presence, even without saying much, as if they're recharging just by being near you. They sense something real, something untainted by pretense or ulterior motives. Your magnetic aura isn't about perfection. It's about authenticity. It's about being honest with who you are and aligning yourself with the purpose God has placed in your life. This kind of magnetism also brings responsibility. Your aura is not just for your benefit, it's for the people around you. Like a lighthouse guiding ships through stormy seas, your presence can offer direction, hope, and clarity to those who feel lost. But this doesn't mean you have to carry the weight of everyone else's burdens. Remember, your light comes from God. It's not something you generate on your own. It's something you reflect. Staying connected to Him is what keeps your aura strong and untainted. At times, your magnetic aura may feel isolating. You may wonder why people are drawn to you but seem to hold back from truly understanding you. This is part of the paradox of being chosen. People see the light, but they don't always comprehend the journey it took to shine that brightly. They might admire you, but they may not recognize the sacrifices, struggles, and inner work that have shaped who you are. John 1 verse 5 reminds us, "And the light shineth in darkness, and the darkness comprehended it not." Don't let this discourage you. Your role isn't to be understood by everyone. It's to shine regardless. The world needs your light. In a culture that often values appearances over substance, your authenticity is a rare and precious gift. It's a reminder to others that they too can embrace their true selves, that they don't have to conform to be worthy. Your magnetic aura inspires others to seek their own light, to ask deeper questions about who they are and what they're called to be. But let's not romanticize this too much. Having a magnetic aura also means you'll attract people who aren't good for you, those who are drawn to your light for the wrong reasons. They might seek to take without giving, to drain your energy without contributing to your growth. This is where discernment becomes crucial. Not everyone who is drawn to you is meant to stay in your life. Proverbs 4 verse 23 offers wisdom here. "Keep thy heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life." Protecting your energy and setting boundaries is not selfish. It's necessary. As you embrace this magnetic aura, remember that it's part of a larger purpose. It's not about gaining followers, fame, or approval. It's about walking in your calling, about being a vessel through which God's love and truth can flow. When people are drawn to you, it's an opportunity to point them towards something greater than yourself. Your light is not an end in itself. It's a reflection of the one who made you. Take a moment to reflect. Have you noticed how people gravitate toward you, how they seem inexplicably drawn to your presence? Recognize this as a sign, not of your own power, but of the unique role you're meant to play in this world. Comment, light, if you've felt this pull in your life, if you've experienced the beauty and challenges of carrying a magnetic aura. And this is just the beginning. The next sign will take us even deeper, exploring how your encounters with others are not just random, they're transformative. The fourth sign is transformative encounters. These aren't just everyday conversations or fleeting moments. They're experiences that resonate deeply with those you meet. You might think you're just sharing your thoughts or offering a listening ear, but for the other person, it becomes so much more. They replay your words in their minds, dissecting them for hidden meaning, seeking clarity, and drawing strength. The conversations you consider routine leave others profoundly changed. Your presence and the moments you share with people plant seeds that continue to grow long after the interaction has ended. Have you ever had someone tell you, "You don't know how much that meant to me," or "I've been thinking about what you said for days"? At first, it might surprise you. You weren't trying to be profound. You were simply being yourself. But this is no accident. It's the impact of being chosen. Transformative encounters aren't something you plan. They flow naturally from who you are and the purpose God has placed on your life. Your words, your kindness, your insights, they carry weight because they are infused with divine intention. Romans 8 verse 28 captures this beautifully. And we know that all things work together for good to them that love God, to them who are the called according to his purpose. These encounters have a way of happening when people need them most. Someone might cross paths with you during a season of confusion, doubt, or pain, and your presence becomes a turning point. A simple remark or gesture on your part can give them hope, clarity, or the courage to take a step forward. You might not even realize the depth of the impact at the time, but for them it's unforgettable. It's as though your words unlock something that was dormant within them, sparking change, growth, or healing. Think about the story of Jesus and Zacchaeus in Luke 19. Zacchaeus was a tax collector, despised by many, living a life marked by greed and separation. But one transformative encounter with Jesus changed everything. Jesus didn't preach a sermon or lecture Zacchaeus. He simply invited himself into Zacchaeus' life, saying, "Zacchaeus, make haste and come down. For today I must abide at thy house." Luke 19 verse 5. That simple act of acknowledgement and acceptance transformed Zacchaeus, leading him to repentance and a complete change of heart. Your encounters have a similar power. They're not about grand gestures. They're about the authenticity, presence, and purpose you bring into each moment. But these transformative encounters aren't without challenges. Not everyone will be ready to embrace the change your presence inspires. Some may resist, deny, or even dismiss the impact of your words. They might push back because facing transformation often means confronting uncomfortable truths. You might feel misunderstood or unappreciated in the moment. But take heart, your role is not to force change. It's to plant seeds. God will water them in his timing. In your daily life, these encounters can take many forms. It might be a conversation with a friend who's been struggling in silence, a chance meeting with a stranger who feels seen and valued for the first time in years, or an interaction with a coworker that shifts their perspective on a problem they've been facing. These moments might feel ordinary to you, but they are extraordinary to the people on the receiving end. They leave a mark, one that lingers, grows, and eventually bears fruit. There's a sacredness to these encounters. They're not random. They're divinely orchestrated. Think of them as threads in the larger tapestry of God's plan. Each interaction you have is part of a bigger picture, one that you might not fully see but that is undoubtedly unfolding according to his purpose. These moments are reminders that your life is not just about you. It's about the lives you touch, the hearts you inspire, and the souls you encourage. But carrying this ability to facilitate transformative encounters also requires discernment. Not every interaction will be received with gratitude, and not every person who crosses your path will be open to change. There will be times when you pour into someone and see no immediate result. There will be times when your kindness is met with indifference or even hostility. These moments can be disheartening, but they're also an opportunity to trust God's process. Isaiah 55 verses 10 to 11 reminds us, "For as the rain cometh down, and the snow from heaven, and returneth not thither, but watereth the earth, and maketh it bring forth and bud, so shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void." In the midst of these encounters, it's also important to care for yourself. Transformative moments can be emotionally and spiritually draining. They require you to be present, empathetic, and vulnerable. Remember to take time to recharge, to reconnect with God, and to pour back into your own spirit. Your ability to impact others comes from the overflow of your relationship with Him. When you stay rooted in His love, your encounters will continue to carry the power and authenticity that only He can provide. Reflect on your own experiences. How many times have you walked away from an interaction, thinking little of it, only to have someone later tell you how much it meant to them? How many lives have you touched without even realizing it? These moments are evidence of your calling. They're proof that you were designed to make an impact, not by striving, but by simply being who you are. As we move forward, consider this: your transformative encounters are not the end of the story. They're the beginning. Each one creates a ripple effect, influencing not just the person you interact with, but also the people they go on to impact. Your life is part of a greater cosmic purpose, a divine plan that is unfolding in ways you can't fully comprehend, but that you are undeniably a part of. Comment purpose if this resonates with you. And now for the final and most revealing sign, the one they absolutely can't ignore. Ready? Because this one will hit home. The final sign is authentic confidence. It's not the kind of confidence the world glorifies, the loud, attention-seeking bravado that craves validation. No, this is something deeper, quieter, and far more powerful. It's the unshakable assurance that comes from knowing exactly who you are and, more importantly, whose you are. It doesn't demand the spotlight. It creates its own light. And while others may try to diminish it or misunderstand it, this confidence remains steady because it's rooted in something eternal. Authentic confidence can be disarming. It's not about proving yourself to anyone. It's about walking in the truth of your identity. People see it in the way you carry yourself, in the calm assurance that you don't need to shout your worth because you already know it. This is the kind of confidence that causes others to take notice, not because you're seeking attention, but because your presence speaks volumes. It challenges others not by intimidating them, but by inspiring them to question their own insecurities and search for something more stable to anchor their lives to. This confidence, however, is not easily attained. It's forged through trials, through seasons of doubt, and through moments when the world seemed determined to strip you of it. The truth is, the enemy fears this kind of confidence because it's rooted in faith. If he can make you doubt who you are, he can keep you from stepping into your calling. That's why this confidence is so often tested. James 1 verse 12 speaks directly to this process. Blessed is the man that endureth temptation. For when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life, which the Lord hath promised to them that love him. Think of David standing before Goliath. His confidence wasn't in his slingshot skills or his physical strength. It was in God. When he declared, "The Lord that delivered me out of the paw of the lion, and out of the paw of the bear, he will deliver me out of the hand of this Philistine." 1 Samuel 17 verse 37. He wasn't boasting. He was standing in authentic confidence, knowing that the same God who had been faithful before would be faithful again. David's confidence wasn't just a weapon. It was a testimony. And like David, your confidence speaks of a deeper truth. It points to the one who sustains you. Authentic confidence can also be polarizing. While it inspires some, it unnerves others. People who are still wrestling with their own insecurities might misinterpret your confidence as arrogance. They might envy the peace you carry or even attempt to tear you down, hoping to level the playing field. You've likely experienced this before. Someone who questions your motives, undermines your efforts, or dismisses your worth. These moments can feel discouraging, but they are also a confirmation. The world doesn't push back against something that isn't significant. Your confidence reveals something about you that can't be ignored. Yet this kind of confidence isn't a shield from hardship. It's a source of strength through it. Life will test you. Circumstances will arise that challenge everything you believe about yourself and your purpose. There will be moments of failure, moments when you feel inadequate, moments when you question whether you're enough. But this is where authentic confidence proves its worth. It reminds you that your value isn't tied to your performance, your success, or the opinions of others. It's tied to your Creator, who declared you fearfully and wonderfully made. Psalm 139 verse 14. In daily life, this confidence shows up in both big and small ways. It's in the way you handle criticism without crumbling. It's in the way you pursue your goals with determination, even when the path isn't clear. It's in the way you speak the truth, even when it's unpopular, and the way you extend grace, even when it's undeserved. This confidence isn't about perfection. It's about authenticity. It's about being secure enough in who you are to embrace your flaws, your growth, and your journey. As you reflect on this final sign, consider the journey that has brought you here. Every trial, every victory, every moment of doubt has been part of shaping this confidence within you. It's not something you've earned. It's something you've been given. It's a gift that grows as you continue to trust in God and walk in His purpose for your life. And this is where the story takes a powerful turn. Authentic confidence isn't the end of the journey. It's the beginning of something greater. It equips you to step boldly into the future, to face challenges with resilience, and to inspire others along the way. Comment confidence if this resonates with you. So, how do you handle these tests? We'll dive into that in an in-depth video linked below in the description. Make sure you watch it. So, chosen one, what's your next move? Recognize these signs for what they are, proof that you're called to something greater. If this video resonated with you, comment chosen, hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe for more insights like this. Your journey is just beginning.